Right, let me see if I get everyone back up. Oh, is my mask gonna work? It is. There we go. Okay, so we need TikTok. Right. Yes. Okay. Will you show me my live stream? Yes, you do. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, that's a pretty decent angle. I don't think I can do much better than that today, so that will have to do. But hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. Bit of a late night live stream this time. I don't know if I'll get this page done tonight. Just because it's 8:30 already here. So the chances of me finishing this is either that we're working until basically midnight, or I finish this the next day. But I was like, well, I kind of fancied live streaming again, and drawing me doing the lineup for this at least, because I always find like lineup for me is always like the most boring part. So for me to be live streaming whilst doing the line art is actually really beneficial to me. It keeps me more motivated to get the line art done. So this is why I've come to the live stream today and why I'm live streaming tonight. And if I quickly go onto my Discord, I'm just gonna quickly say that I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming on TikTok. There we go. I'm not gonna at everyone. I will make a dedicated role at some point, so people get notifications on my Discord in terms of when I'm live, but not currently. Right, so we're on page 8, I think. Page 8. So let's crack on. No more dilly-dallying. If we just crack on with it. And actually, I need Larkin's ref sheet. Larkin. You come here. Brilliant. Right, there he is. And I just need that one. Make that slightly smaller. Brilliant. Even though I think I've drawn his hair pretty decently here in this panel. Just have it up one side anyway. This pen, is it a bit thick? It's alright. I've reduced the size a little bit for it, but it should be okay. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, everyone. I'm hoping you're all having a good evening, if it's, Easter evening for you, wherever you live. Hopefully we can kind of just have a chill one tonight. I guess you guys can probably tell by my voice that I'm a bit tired today. Again, it's just a bit late here, so I'm getting to that point in the day that I'm like, oh. So, I'm quite excited though for tomorrow, because I get to pick up my new tomorrow. So I should see better, which is, be a vast improvement, because essentially my left eye has improved drastically. Like my sight in my left eye now is pretty much almost perfect. I'm like a minus 0.25 in that eye now. So it's hardly anything in my left eye now. It used to be like a minus 0.15, but yeah, now it's like a minus 0.25, so it's gone down drastically, but my right eye has gotten significantly worse. I think it used to be like a minus 0.75, and now it's like a minus 1.75, so it's my right eye has gotten a lot worse, but that's just how eyes work. Sometimes they just go a bit crazy over the course of 2 years. So that's kind of what happened with my eyes this time, but I've been getting some really nice frames. I'm going way more colourful than I usually would do for glasses frames, because I'm a basic, I like my black frames with a bit of gold or a bit of silver on, but I've actually gone for a nice pink frame this time, and I should kind of get a greeny blue sort of frames, but I mean, I can probably show them off tomorrow once I get them, because it'll be first thing in the morning I'll be picking them up, so I'm really excited. And I also went in this week to try contact lenses for the first time. I managed to get one pair of contact lenses in. Couldn't get them out. Couldn't get the other set in the other eye. So it's a bit of a failure. But I've got another appointment booked in for next week. So hopefully I can get them both in. And then I can actually take them out. But we'll see. But yeah, if it doesn't go well next week, then maybe I'll just put having contact lenses on hold. Because again, it's just like trying to get your eyes used to having your hands near your eyes and actually touching your eyes. Is really difficult. It is like just training your eye muscles not to flinch, you know. So, but maybe I'll get there. We'll see. It's not the end of the world if I can't if I can't wear contact lenses. But I just wanted to give it a shot to see if I can wear contact lenses or not. So. How much will you charge for artwork? Depends on what you're after. If you're after an illustration, that's a bit different from what I charge for like a manga page. So it really depends on your request. Again, I kind of take commissions on a case by case basis, but like I've got a general like outline on my main website, where you can find like the base prices for all of my work. If you're interested in commissioning me. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the follows. I really appreciate it. It all helps me out because again, I'm a very small creator. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers so I can actually link my stuff properly on my TikTok page. So again, I appreciate any support, gets my manga out to more people, and hopefully finds the right readership as well, find some new fans and new readers, so I really appreciate it. I really like your art style. Thank you so much. Your art style reminds me of love to draw manga. Oh yes, I do know who you're talking about. She's got a really cute style, doesn't she? She's got a really nice style. I haven't watched her videos in so long now, but no, I really liked watching her videos back in the day. But I know she kind of does. I know what you mean though, because I think she also does like these big highlights in the top of her eyes. And I don't really tend to see many artists do that, so I guess me and her have that in common, that we like to put like a big white highlight on top of all of our characters' eyes, which is probably just like a weird thing for me to point out, but it's something that me and her both do. So now we put it like, oh, I get why you say it's very similar. This looks amazing, thank you so much. I'll say a manga page, how much do you do roughly? So like for a very simplistic page, and bear in mind like for all of this, that includes like the sketching, the thumbnails, the lettering, like everything you see on a manga page I do myself. You're talking about base price for something very simple, £150, because it takes that kind of includes revisions within it to a certain extent. But yeah, it depends on the complexity of a manga page, right? Well, it would be a bit different if it was like a project by project basis. Yeah, depends what you're wanting to commission. Any tips? I am doing animation and game design. Well, I did concept and comic art at university. And I would just say, like, you'll have such an easier time, like, drawing or animating. If you have some really strong silhouettes for your character designs, it makes them way easier to draw, and you can spot your mistakes a lot easier in your drawings if your characters have very clear silhouettes. So that's something that I'd honestly recommend, is just make sure you've got clear silhouettes for your characters. It's a bit of an odd one, but I have like way more tips in terms of like drawing comics than I do doing like animation or game design. Like I've done a little bit of animation. I studied in game art, but again, like that wasn't kind of my main area of expertise at university. But I know a little bit about game art. Thank you very much for the roses. I really appreciate it. I can give you a commission, and also thank you for answering. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just take them on like a project by project basis. So if you're interested in commissioning me, feel free to drop me an email, and I'll have a look at your request. But I can't guarantee that I'll take it on. Yeah, it depends how busy my schedule is, and at the moment I am fairly busy. But yeah, feel free to just drop me an email, and I'll have a look at it. So. Any tips for people trying to create a manga? Depends if you want art tips or story tips, because I can give you both, and I've also got videos on my TikTok profile covering both as well. So it depends specifically what you're kind of like looking for advice in terms of drawing manga. Because if you narrow it down slightly, then I can answer it a lot better, I feel like, than something as general as that. And then his vest on there. I might just grab his other ref here. And that goes down there. And that goes here. Goes in the corner. Both. Okay, so in terms of like artwork tips, where do I even start with artwork? I honestly, whenever I say like if you want to create manga, I would honestly always say that the paneling and the lettering is the most important aspect of a manga, because if your manga or comic isn't readable, then no one's gonna read it. Like if your art is like kind of mid, that's fine. You know, like your artwork doesn't need to be amazing, but something that is really important with like comic work is the lettering and the readability of your comic. So honestly, I would just go and like look at your favorite like manga artists, like look at their comic paneling, study how they panel their mangas, and look at how they letter their comics. And you'll learn like a lot from it, and it will make your comics look more professional and increase the readability. Because yeah, I always say like in terms of drawing comics, readability is the most important thing. And in that same regard, in terms of the panel layout, what I always tell people to do is to try and keep like this S shape as much as you can. So if you feel like this way, it's kind of like a loose S this time on this panel. It's a bit, I've done this panel a bit differently to how I usually would, because she kind of pops out here, but it would be like a loose S shape that you're trying to aim for in terms of, you know, where to place the lettering, how your eyes are guided throughout the panels. You know, I always recommend to do an S shape whenever you're creating like comic panels. That's a big tip I would also give to aspiring manga artists, is to try and make their comic pages in an S shape. Again, that will just dramatically increase the readability in your comics as well. Yeah, it's a like little itty bits that I don't think a lot of people bring up when creating comics that just really help. And it's advice that I always try and give to people who are trying to make comics. What's your setup? So I'm using a Cintiq 32 Wacom device. So it's a very, very big tablet. But it is my baby, and I highly recommend it. But it was quite expensive to get. But I mean, I wouldn't replace it for the world. I love this thing, so... I'm creating a Naruto type manga, hopefully animate soon. So big project, yeah. I'd love to learn how to animate like properly. Like you can see like in one of my pin videos, I did like a small animation, but like I'm really not an animator at all. So it's be something that I'd like to study at some point. Like properly study animation, because I'd love to make proper animations of, you know, my characters, my stories, like some of my story scenes. That'd be sick. But I just don't, I just haven't dedicated the time to learn how to animate really. But I'd love to do like some animations based off, the manga. So, that'd be kind of a dream for me to do at some point. I always struggle with not having enough space for the words. Yeah, this is why I always recommend, like, if I open up one of my future pages, something with a lot of dialogue on. Let me have a look. Yeah, if I open up this one, I don't know if there's anyone who's reading the views of stuff in there here. But spoiler alert for this page. Anyways, you can see how these are my thumbnails. Okay, so these blue things are my thumbnails, alright? My thumbnails are absolutely crap, guys, okay? But your thumbnails can be crap, they can be even worse than my thumbnails, they're kind of just to give you the general gist on how the story's going. But what you notice with my thumbnails, I've already pre-lettered the entire manga page, So I know that the lettering will fit in this entire page. And basically, what you want your lettering to do, it needs to complement your artwork, right? So for me, I always letter before I do any of the sketching. Because then I know I can play my sketch around that lettering then. I know how much space that lettering is going to take. I don't see enough people do this, but I highly recommend it. If it's something that you struggle with, do it in your thumbnail styles. Like, get all your lettering done, get that sorted out, and then draw around your lettering. That's what I do, because again, I ran into the same issue, that my, when I tried to letter, it was just so tight, and I had like no room to play around with. So this is my alternative, is actually pre-sketching, is getting those bubbles in and lettering all done, and then do your sketch around your text. And then obviously you don't have to draw under your text then, which is beneficial to me as well. Thank you very much for the rose. I really appreciate it. Hopefully that gave you a kind of a clearer explanation of kind of what I do. I don't know if that's helpful or not, or it's something that you'll really be doing, but that's what I do to get around it. Alright, that's Larkin. Alright, and then this is Elowen. Where is her rough sheet? Elowen, here she is. Hiding away. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll probably just follow quite closely I can't speak tonight. Quite closely to my sketch here for her. But again, this doesn't really have a back ref on her rough sheet here, so. Right, and then that goes down here. Yeah, I hope you're all doing well this evening. I don't know if you guys are just like chilling out, or you just having me in the background whilst you're doing some art tonight. I hope you're all having a good evening. It's almost Friday, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are very much looking forward to the end of tomorrow. I'm sure people probably really want that weekend to come sooner, so. Right, and that's element goes down there, and then I'm trying to think, because I guess, yeah, because this would be her shoulder. I'm just going to follow my sketch line here, because I'm not too sure what's happening here. Yeah, ideally, her jaw would be kind of sitting down here somewhere, but that's fine. If I just draw here, then I'll quickly tidy up down there. Right, and then go down there, and then if we make that line bolder, so we're separating it from Larkin a bit more. Right, and then if I draw a white background behind them, just makes the background element a bit easier. Down this way, across. Right, and then if we get rid of this bit, and I forgot to draw a line down here. That's fine. I'll fix that in a second. I will read you guys' comment in just a second. I'm just gonna get this done. So I don't know if you guys have left comments, but I will double check them in a second anyway. So that line needs to go up here, and then we can get rid of the white here. Brilliant, and then we can do the background already, because I just want a simple gradient for this background. I don't want anything too dramatic, so we can just go like that and shove that under there, and then bring that back up. Right, and then we need kind of a swoosh, because Larkin will be doing a motion of looking away in this panel. So if we put that under the lettering, speed line, let me just fix this up. Then it's only a small one we want, so probably something like that would do it. Yep. Something like that. I don't know, it could even be smaller than that, honestly. Yeah, something like that would be good. Okay. And then that'll be the best of nuts. What are you using to draw? I'm using a Cintiq 32. This is by Wacom. I'm pretty much the biggest tablet on the market. I love this thing. It's my favorite thing in the world. And something funny that I did yesterday to kind of give you guys the scale of this. Okay, I'm gonna compare it to my iPad. All right, because I feel like most people can imagine an iPad, right? Okay, this is my iPad. Okay, this is my iPad. So I bang onto here. That's how big my tablet is, okay? And consider, like, it goes more... Oh, if I try and move my tripod, I can show you guys a bit. Okay, it goes all the way down here. Goes all the way down there, right? So, it's a very, very big device. Who is this amazing manga artist that is live right now? Hi, Dylan. How are you doing? I don't know if you saw my Discord message. I didn't really want to, like, ping at everyone, because I feel like that would have annoyed people if I pinged everyone that I'm live right now, so I just left a message. I will, at some point, create a role in the Discord that you guys can just get pinged whenever I go live on TikTok, because I know someone was asking about that a while ago on the Discord, so I might do something like that. I will figure it out at some point. But just not currently. Guess who? Hi Takeshi, how are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? It said, I know I was live streaming yesterday, but I know not everyone could be around for all the time that I stream, especially because I don't tend to do a lot of late evening streams. Like, I've said this earlier, but it's really unusual for me to be live streaming this late. You know, it's going to be hard, I feel like, for me to finish this page tonight, unless I stay up until, like, midnight. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. It could be really quick, this page. You never know. Depends how much I chat, really. I was really busy with stuff, and I couldn't join. Oh, please, do not worry. Again, like, if you ever wanted to see the previous stream, it's always up on my YouTube afterwards. So it is uploaded on there at the moment, if you ever did want to check it out. But, like, you know, that's all in your own time, though. But I think I only live streamed for about 3 hours yesterday, so it didn't take me too long to finish the other page that I drew yesterday. But no, I'm glad to see you all here, though. It's nice to see, like, some regulars now to stream, because, again, like, I only started streaming, like, what, like, 2 weeks ago? Maybe 3 weeks ago now. So I do really like streaming, because again, like I was explaining earlier, it's like when I'm drawing line art, it's so boring. It's like my least favorite part of the manga drawing process. I say that, but I don't really like sketching either. But like, line art's just tedious, you know. But to actually have people to chat to whilst I'm doing like all of this tedious work, really helps me out. Because it feels like I can do something else on the side. Because usually, like, if I'm drawing, I usually just have, like, a YouTube video in the background, or I'm just listening to music on Spotify, or something like that. But I feel like I'm being more productive with my time whilst I'm live streaming. I don't know if that's just because I know that, you know, my lives get pushed out to more people and stuff like that. I don't know. But I find it more fun drawing a manga page whilst I'm live streaming. Especially when I'm doing the line art. Also, if you're wondering who's liking so much, honestly, look, the likes help out the live stream, so I don't mind. I don't see all the spam the likes, really, unless I'm looking over to the desktop version. I'm sure it would cover all of my phone screen though, but I'm not looking at my phone. It's satisfying watching a manga be drawn. I just, sorry, I got, my glasses, I don't have them on at the moment, so I can't actually see all your guys' comments that well. Let me have a look. It's satisfying watching a manga be drawn. I just damn well know if it won't when I'm 100 chapters. I said, you know, for me, like, this has been such a long process, though, because if people don't know, they recently celebrated the 2nd year anniversary of the Thieves of Stop and Death, but I've drawn, like, 350 pages over the last 2 years, which is kind of insane. Like, you're talking that's, like, a page every 2 days, folks. Like, that's kind of insane, you know? That's kind of insane considering I also work. Like, I might be a little too obsessed with my manga, folks. I've got a kind of a crazy work output. But I mean, I've always been obsessed, so. It's kind of satisfying to watch. I've got to stop. It's making my phone glitch. Oh gosh, you don't overheat your phone now. I found, you know, my phone gets really hot after live streams. I'm like, oh, one day it's just gonna like shut down midstream because it's just like it gets too warm. But I will probably figure out a way to keep it cool if I can. Because I really don't want that to happen one day. But I guess you guys will know if that happens. So, right, and then Eowyn's belt. I didn't really draw her top up here that well, but I mean the thing is, it gets for people who don't know, like it gets cropped in this part anyway, so you're never gonna see like anything I draw up here really. So you're not even really gonna see her jacket here. You're not gonna see her upper arms here. So I'm not too worried about how it looks too much up here. All right, and then draw her belt in. Like her belt, you'll see though. So. Alright, and then that goes down there, up here, and it's really warm in my room. I don't know, I could open my windows, but then everyone on my street would hear me, which I don't know if I want everyone on my street to hear me talk about my manga. So, I could turn my fan on, but that means you guys get that annoying buzzing, and I really don't want to annoy you guys if I have my fan on, so... But I'm surviving in my short sleeves at the moment. What's up? Who's the person you're drawing? I am drawing Eowyn. If you haven't read Beyond Volume 1, you have not met her yet. But she is kind of an important character in Volume 2. So she's a part of the detective agency. She's just a detective constable in a detective agency. But she's kind of a part of like the Malachi group. It's one of the detectives that Malachi look after. So, but I really like drawing her. I really enjoy her character design and drawing her. So, but she's a witch. So she's the first witch that we've met in the Thieves of Stuff and Death. I will say you'll meet a lot more witches in the second arc. There's a lot of witches in the second arc, which I'm quite excited to draw in the future. Don't worry, I'll cool you down with one of the biggest fans. Come on now. That's actually really good. I can't come up with jokes on the spot like that. That's a talent that I'll never have. That's really good. How many chapters are you planning for your story to be? It's as long as it's gonna be. I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's gonna be as long as I want it to be. But I do kind of like know when I want it to stop. Like I do have like a finale in my mind, and I know like the major story beats of the Thieves of Stuff and Death. But I will say it'll probably take me a very long time. So I will get back to you with an estimate when we're a bit closer to that point. But at the moment we're nowhere near there. So there's a lot of arcs that I'd like to do. Like, bear in mind, I've got like these first 3 arcs are going to be set in Bath. And then they kind of move out to go to Marlborough in arc 4. And then in arc 5 they go to Avebury. Right, so they are going to move as well in future arcs, but at the moment we are still in Bath, so... It's your dad's fault, yeah. Is it our dads always tell us the best jokes, don't they? Is it my dad has his moments as well, so... How many arcs do you have right now? I've got... Okay, let me think, folks, okay? So you got Death of a Plagiarizer, which is the first arc. And then you got the SWAT family, which is next arc. But I think I might call it, like, the Clockwork Conspiracy. In terms of the official arc name, I think I've settled on the Clockwork Conspiracy. But it's focused on the SWAT family, which is, like, an underground smuggler gang in Bath, but again, we'll get onto that soon. Third arc is the Green Knight, and that is one of Fletcher's, like, the Golden Thief's copycat thieves. So that is when we get introduced to Nevin, so that's the third arc. The fourth arc, I guess I can reveal this now because, I mean, it will happen soon that Lloyd revealed this, but we get to meet Ravella in arc 4 in Marlborough, so that'll be quite exciting. And then arc 5, we're going to be in Avebury. Arc 6, we're heading our way to Pusey. And then arc 7, we'll be back in Bath. And then there'll be another one in Bath. And then another one in Bath. So that's 9. And then there's another one that I can't disclose the place of yet. So that's 10. And then I haven't planned any more arcs beyond that. But I do have, like, future plot points. Like, I know, like, another arc at some point is going to be, like, in the future. But at some point after arc 10. But, like, I've got the first 10 arcs planned. Roughly. So I know what's going to happen in the next 10 arcs. But I also know what's happening, like, further in the story. And I know what's happening at the end. So... Got to have a lot of arcs? Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, this first arc was always going to be the longest, because it's the introductory arc. So every arc in the future should be a lot shorter, hopefully. We'll find out though. My story would be around 30 volumes, possibly, and it'd be monthly, so it'd be deadly. Yeah, it said it will take a while. I'd love to work on my manga monthly, because I get it done so much quickly. You know, if I was able to release a chapter every month, I'd be flying, you know? Because I am a fast worker. Like, I'd be able to get a chapter out every month if I was working full-time on it. But unfortunately, that is not the case. It's more like every 3 months I release a chapter at the moment, so... how do you make your own manga look like a manga, if you know what I mean? I just study other artists, honestly. And then, you know, for me, it's like finding the right pen to use. Like, I use a pen from Monochrome called the He 2 pen. And it's my favourite inking pen in the world for monochrome work. And something else I would suggest is, like, to get your manga to look like a manga, I would honestly, like, study panel layouts of your favourite, like, manga artists. Like, because I think a lot of it lies in how you panel your manga as well as lettering your manga, rather than your actual artwork itself, making it look like a manga. It is, like, in the presentation and format. That's how you need to focus on to make it look like a manga. Because I'll, you know, in my opinion, like, my art style, like, yeah, it looks anime-ish, I guess, but, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say you could really put a name to the art style, you know what I mean? Because I feel like my art kind of gets inspiration from all places. You know, it's a bit hard to describe. How do you keep your info down? Do you write it on a Google Doc or something? I keep it all in, like, my notepads, in physical writing. I used to keep it in. I do have some notes online on my ClickUp, but, like, a lot of it's done traditionally, or it's still in my head. But, you know, it's kind of all over the place, my notes, so... How do you make the little dots things look like colours, shadows, instead of just dots? I don't know how to best explain this, but I kind of, like... how do I explain it? How do I explain this? I don't know, like, I kind of just treat screen tones as, like, colouring in, which you're not really supposed to do for manga. I'm just going to let you know. You shouldn't be doing that. Usually what manga artists do, they kind of have, like, 20%, 50%, and 70% tone. Like, those are kind of, like, the only levels of tones that manga artists tend to use. I use every 10% tone. So I use 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, and that's it. And then after that, I just use pure black. So I'm a bit unusual in the way that I screen tone. It's not a typical way of screen toning a manga, really. But like, I think my screen toning is more based on like what you see in Moriarty the Patriot. Can I grab a volume Moriarty without knocking my tripod over, please? Alright. Okay, Moriarty, right? Again, I always recommend Moriarty if you want to start learning to create manga, because the panel layouts in Moriarty are so simple. Like, it is like beginner, like wanting to make manga material, honestly, to study from. Right, but if you opened up Moriarty, you'll see how detailed these screen tones are. Like, they use a lot of screen tone levels in Moriarty the Patriots. So I feel like in general, like, my stuff is very close to Moriarty the Patriot in terms of screen tone usage, but in other mangas you'll notice that they're very limited on what they use to screen tone. But yeah, I kind of just treat it as like colouring, and I kind of just make it stand out by having dedicated dark spots on the character designs and lighter spots on the character design, to make them look noticeable from afar. So how much do you write down? Every detail or just a little summary of things? Like little details. I don't go too in depth with it. For me, it's like, I know a lot of it's in my head, but usually it's just like little details I put in my book. Like, I could never write the full thing out. Like, in terms of, even for like arc 1, like I had a general outline for arc 1, but I never went into like in depth. Like, I've got like the entirety of arc 1 written out. Like, that's just not something that I did. Like, I had like, oh, I want this character to progress here during this chapter, and I want it set here, but I never kind of wrote the dialogue in between that. It's like, okay, I want to achieve this with this character in this scene, within this chapter. It's like minor goals that I used to put in my outlines rather than writing the entire thing out. It's like very similar to what I do for future arc planning as well. How do you make hands? Like, how? I do. Hands are difficult. Like, there's a reason why I don't show my sketching process too much. It's just because, like, drawing hands are, like, my nemesis, really. It's something that I don't like drawing is hands. They're really difficult for me to draw, in general. Because it's just, like, I can never get it right, either. Like, it takes me, like, forever to draw hands. Because, like, even, like, I was like, okay, well, the proportions don't look right. And then, you know, you keep extending them like that, and then your thumb is, like, kind of more of a triangle off of here, and then it kind of goes in, like, a weird shape, and I can't really do it without any sort of reference, but it's kind of like that or something. Like, it's difficult to draw hands. I don't know. Again, like, you don't see my sketching process that often. Yeah, because pains are just a pain in the neck to draw. Usually, I just get reference and I draw from the reference, or I just use my own hands as reference to draw from. You should look at Attack on Titan tones. It's godly. Yeah, I've seen the manga tones for Attack on Titan. Like, they use a lot of like sandy tones, and sandy tones you usually see more in like shoujo manga. Like, sand tones are more common in shoujo manga. So it's quite nice to see it in shonen and seinen from time to time. Again, you just don't see it that often in shonen titles. But sometimes I use the sound effect, but it's usually for like something on purpose. I'm trying to think of panels that I've used sand tones before, but I can't think of any right now. But I've definitely got some in the fuses still from Death. So, alright, and then how's that looking from afar? Sorry, I feel like I'm chatting and not drawing at the moment. So let's crack on with Larkin at the back here. Larkin. And I haven't drawn his bag on this one, so I'm just going to quickly add that in. So if we draw that in, so his bag strap goes down there. It will get hidden by his hand down here. then that goes down. Oh, I don't want tangents. Ignore the tangents. Right, and then go that way, down there. Compare normal and sand tones if you can. I'm wanting to do in like AAT in my manga. Yeah, I kind of got like what, there's different ways of doing sand tones on Clip Studio Paint. For example, if I grab like a square here, right? What most people would do is they go into their tone settings and then they go to like, where's noise on here? They go to noise, and then like if we wanted like 50 density noise, that's your sand tone. That's what a lot of people use. It's just like a noise sort of thing. But what I tend to use instead is I have like a sand tone set downloaded on Clip Studio Paint. So my sand tones more look like this, which I think looks better when printed out personally myself. But obviously this hurts my eyes when I look at it for too long. But I usually use pre-made sand tones actually for my manga. So if I then, sorry, let me extend this canvas more. So if we do another square, come on now, don't lag now, Clip Studio, thank you. If we do like another square now, and I'll just put a standard 50 in here. Alright, so that's what your standard 50 would look like. So you can kind of compare and contrast. But yeah, that's kind of how the difference between sand and like standard screen tone. It's just a bit more of a texture in it, so. Ever think that if people don't know you're drawing, you kind of look like a weirdo inspecting your hands? Yeah. Yeah, so I guess people from afar wouldn't be like, what are you doing with your hands? But no, I mean, I feel like I've done this before in live stream. Like, I have looked at my hands and been drawing at the same time, because I'm like, this hand doesn't look right in my sketch. I think I've done that on one live stream before. It's like, you guys could see my hand whilst I was drawing the hand on screen. It's what I do a lot of the time. And sometimes I take a photo of my hands. Like, I do it for, like, door handles all the time. Like, I go to a door handle in my house, and I put my hand on the door handle, and I take a photo of it. And then I draw on top of that photo that I took for a manga panel, because it's way easier than me trying to figure it out by scratch. So photo reference is really handy. Again, with hands, I tend to look at photo reference because, again, I'm really terrible otherwise. If not, then 3D models really help as well with drawing hand positions. So I use 3D models quite a bit for hands too. You know, there's like a variety of things that I kind of use to help with drawing hands, you know, so. Because there is some good 3D hand models out there, so. How do you do positions? Positions are difficult. Usually what I do, I usually get out like the 3D mannequins. So if I can't find like a good reference of a real life person doing a pose that I want, usually I kind of get. Do we have a 3D character I can draw on here? Oh yeah, here we go. This is like the basic one. Like, so this is like the basic 3D Clip Studio Paint model thing. So if you're doing positioning, obviously you can like adjust, you know, the hand and stuff. These are really finicky to work with. It's not why I like using them that often. But obviously, if you want to pose them at a certain angle, then usually I use like the models to help with the positioning and stuff. Yeah, you can go like that. Ta-da! You can kind of go crazy with it. But, you know, you can adjust it at like the circular points here, so you can go like boom, 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 boom. You know, there's some cool things on Clip that you can do. I don't know what she's doing in this pose I'm making up right now. But this is, you know, if I really just want like a nice simple pose that I can figure out, that I can't find like a photo reference for, or I don't feel like I could do the pose justice, then usually that's when the 3D models come in handy, and then, you know, you can get the guidelines from it, so, you know, you can get that, you know, go and then that, and then for me it's like you need that S shape in it, so, you know, and then, you know, you go curve more that way, and then, you know, you keep going, and, you know, you can just copy that and move that to your canvas. So, you know, for more complex angles, that I usually tend to rely a bit more on the 3D models aspect, because for me, like, I can't imagine things in my head, so it's really difficult for me to think from my imagination. I need some sort of reference to help me out. How about the scratchy ends to the screen tones, like making it fade a little? Yeah, so if we... Sorry, let me bring up a new canvas again. I can show you this. So if we make a square, again, a little square, right? This is your square, right? This is your 50% screen tone here. Usually, I would recommend to get like one of these hatching brushes. Like you can see like, oh, a little circle here, right? And I don't know, I might have to bring my tripod over here. But you see like this little clip mask thing here on Clip Studio Paint. If you select that, right? And then if I position you guys back a bit, let me get you to the right position again. Without my tripod falling over, because it's on one of my other wires back here at the moment. Right. And then if you make this hatching brush like an erase, and then if you go like that, and that's how you kind of erase your screen tones to make it more of a gradient. And you know, I've got different like hatching pens and stuff, so you can have like even like more gentle one, even with some other ones, and that's kind of how you do it. Or if you want to draw in that, then obviously you can draw in that as well. That's kind of what I do, so that's how you kind of erase it and stuff like that. So that's how you make it smoother. I know the lag's insane. That's Clip Studio for you. It's because Clip Studio Paint doesn't use the GPU of your computer compared to other art programs. That's why it lags so much. Clip Studio Paint really isn't that well optimized, honestly. They should be using the GPU on your computer, but they're not. So that's why there's a lot of lag on Clip Studio Paint, unfortunately. It's just a bit of a pain in the neck. And I've got quite a pretty beefy computer, because literally it's a computer dedicated to doing art and nothing else, so. For positions, I low-key just take a photo of me doing it in that position. Yeah, that's what I do sometimes as well. Yeah, that's what I usually do, is if the Clip Studio Paint models aren't working and I can't find a photo online, usually I take a photo of myself doing it, so. Not uncommon to do that at all, so. Right, and then marking down here. See. Man, I can't wait to get my new glasses. I feel like I can see so much better when I get my new glasses tomorrow. Because my eyes, I didn't realise how much my eyes have been suffering until I put in a contact lens as a trial basis on Wednesday, and I was like, wow, my right eye is really bad, isn't it? So right, and then let's draw the hands. That's why my phone storage is crashing out, lol. Yeah. Clip is insane. It does drain you know, your computer quite a bit. If your CPU isn't very strong, then Clip Studio Paint isn't gonna like your computer that much. Which, to be fair, like no one's CPU is gonna be that strong, you know. But yeah, Clip Studio Paint in general isn't that well optimized, so it's not your fault if Clip Studio Paint is lagging. That is just Clip Studio Paint's fault. So don't worry too much. Hopefully in the future they can fix it. But I don't know, that's very common amongst like Japanese software products, is that they don't like to use your GPU for some reason, even though like every other program in the world uses your GPU. Right, and then that's the trousers fold down there. And we're getting lower and lower down on his leg now. I need to increase the stabilization. My hand is all over the place today. Right, and then that goes down there. Right, and then decrease the stabilization again. I bring it down there, up here. Right. Do your joints just ever switch off? No, actually, my joints on my hands and stuff like that, they're pretty good, honestly. But I mean, I haven't been doing it whilst I'm live streaming, but I should stretch my hands every hour. So that's what I do when I'm drawing usually, is stretch my hands. I would recommend people to stretch their hands if they're drawing for such a long period of time. Every hour, just get up and stretch your hands and your arms a bit. Like, I think for me, like, I don't tend to get like joint pain as much because I use my entire arm to draw usually. I don't use like my hand, like wrist as much to go like that. I usually use my entire arm, and that's something that I'd recommend people to try and do, is try and use their entire arm if they can. It takes a while to get used to, but it will be so much better for your wrist health if you can use your entire arm instead of your wrist. So usually it's my arm dragging the pen down rather than my wrist moving it around. I have a good computer, so luckily I won't have that problem. Oh, there you go, fair enough. Everywhere else but my hands just randomly turn off. Really? So yeah, that's not an issue that I have. Like, sometimes I just get like cramps in my legs in the morning, but like apart from that, like, no, not really. But I guess I'm hypermobile in my ligaments, so I don't know if that has an effect. I think that might be why I don't get it as much as other people maybe. It might be because of my hypermobility, so who knows. Right, and then Larkin's LSU. Right, I need a drink and my mouth is getting so dry. Alright, and then we go. And you know, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get to the big scene in chapter 11. I'm just like, I just want to get there. I mean, this scene with Elwyn is really cool. I feel like it explores Elwyn a bit more. And then obviously we got Fleur popping up again in this chapter. I got two of my short hair girlies actually seeing each other for the first time now. Which hasn't happened yet. So that's quite nice to have the short hair girls finally meet each other. Especially because Elwyn is literally pointing a gun in Fleur's face when they first meet. Which is that's some way to meet her, honestly. So, but no, I'm really looking forward to drawing some of the latter pages with Fleur in later. So that's something to look forward to for future streams, maybe. I'm just asking Mando a question because I'm running out of ideas. Honestly, do not worry. Like, I do not mind a bit of silence for a while. If people just want some, like, ASMR, just kind of, like, just watching me in the background. Because at the moment, like, obviously when I'm talking and drawing at the same time is really difficult to do. So, for me, like, if I'm not talking, then it means, like, I can draw more as well. But I like talking to you all. I like the questions. As you said, it makes things more interesting for me. What's that picture next to the drawing iPad thingy? Oh, do you mean like this screen down here, Takeshi? Because I can show you that drawing. It'd be on my toy house, but I can show you it. Right, and then... Oh, these X's are supposed to be white. 1 second. Right, so make that white, bring that down. Alright, and then erase that, and then we need white lines down here. So let me just quickly do that because he's got like little, well, it's more like a lace actually. I might do a border effect. 1 second. I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just like chatting to myself, and I know you guys are like, what are you on about right now? But I mean like a border effect for the two laces here. Then I can turn this layer off when I'm doing screen tone data. So, okay, it doesn't need to be perfect. That's what it kind of showcases it. Brilliant. Okay. On the right, yeah. The drawing on the right hand side. Yes. So over here, there's like a drawing of Nevin, Larkin, and Fletcher. I can get it probably better quality on my screen over here. Let me get it up. Toy house characters. Where would be best to look? I'll click on Larkin and we'll go from there. How do I go with this? I mean, I think I commissioned that artwork it's pretty old now, I think. Where is it? I'm sure you gotta be like, I literally see it, Elodie. But I don't see it. I've commissioned so much artwork, this is a problem. Oh, it's over here, it's hiding. It's hiding. There you go. There you go. That's the actual artwork here. It's a commission someone made for me of my characters. So that's what's on the other screen. And then what I have on my background on this Cintiq at the moment, if I go back, there you go. This is my desktop on this computer. So you see that, oh yeah, it's the 5th of June and the weather there. There you go. Again, that's with Nevin. He appears in Arc 3, but he's not here yet. He's not here in my manga at the moment, but that's who he is. Yeah, my green fellow. Right, let me see if I can get everyone back to position now. Oh my word, I've completely like knocked my setup out of order now. Give me 1 second to adjust everything. Is that okay, folks? Can you see the screen still? I think that's as good as I can get you guys. Brilliant. There we go. I think that's as good as I'm gonna get you guys again. But yeah, that's the drawing on the other Cintiq at the moment. So, but yeah, it's a character you haven't met yet, and you won't be until Arc 3. But he's kind of like the main sort of character in Arc 3 that you'll meet. So he will be important soon TM. But yeah, it'll be a while, and you know, until we get to see him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to telling his story. Right, and then if we draw the background, so we know. Right, actually, where does the wooden panels here? So it goes essentially to the bottom of her bum, essentially. So let's reference Larkin's bum here. So we know that goes further that way. So I would say if he walks over here, I guess the wall would probably be here somewhere. Roughly, I think it'd be down there somewhere. Right, and then he's gonna go down that way. There we go. And then have some wooden panel down there. Right, and then I accidentally turned my canvas. I didn't need to do that. Right, vector layer. Let's erase the untidy edges here. Brilliant. Okay, and then I'm just going to quickly white that area off as well in a second. I'm just going to reduce the line art in this middle portion here because it's just a bit too thick. There you go. And so I'm going to get here. Brilliant. Okay, and then let's put the white behind it. I'll screen tone that part separately. Right, and then let's draw the rest of the background for this panel. I have to go. I'll see you later, Takeshi. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening, alright? Ooh, I got the puzzle. Oh, there we go. Let me... Oh, okay. Unable to verify. Well, I am definitely not a robot, so please... Okay. I've got to concentrate 1 second, folks. Let me get this puzzle piece in. There we go. See, I am not a robot. I am not a robot, TikTok. I promise I'm not a robot. Right, there we go. See you later. Bye bye. Alright, and then door frame time. So if we bring that up here, down there, across down there. Alright, let me see if I can actually speed up myself doing the line out here. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing this all evening. Right, and then this should kind of just go off in the distance. But I don't need to worry about drawing every line down here, really. Like, it can just disappear after the Larkin's foot here. Or actually, maybe a pencil would be better to show the gradient going off, maybe. Yeah, I think that's better. Right, and then if I draw the floorboards. Right, and there's another one down there. Another one down there. Here. There'll be another one down there. Right, and then that's that one done, and then we just need to reduce the line width of those ones slightly. This is thinner. Brilliant. And then I think we can increase Edwin's lines a little bit around the edges. And the same with Larkin. We can probably increase some of his line weight as well. There we go. Okay, and then let's get the rest of the sketch done here. Right. Alright, I'm just going to quickly preview this just to see how the line art is looking for this. So give me 1 second. Save this. Export 3D preview. Yeah. Compare it to the line out of this page. Yeah, that's about right. Because that's pretty similar to this panel. If not, this panel's slight line art's a bit thinner with Larkin here, but I mean, it's not going to be too much of the end of the world if it's a bit thinner. Yeah, okay, let's continue. Right, so who do I draw first? I kind of want to draw Larkin just because he's like, I know what he looks like. He's like my default guy that I draw. So let me draw Larkin first here. Okay, so he pen 2. Let's go. This direction down here. Flick, flick, flick. And then eyes, and then I kind of want to keep these eyes very simplified for him here, because again, usually we get to see like all the highlights in his eyes, but he's not supposed to have highlights in his eye here. It's just kind of just a dot of surprise. Right, and down there, down here, flick up there, flick up here. Eyebrow here. Brilliant. Okay, and then that goes down there. And that goes hairline, or what people call air vents sometimes. And then down here, swing this way, ear. And down this way. And then his ponytail goes this way. Right, and then his nose down here. And that gets dragged all the way down here. Let's brush up this way. Nice, and then down here as well. And the band down here for his vest. Right, and then circle, circle, back strap, tail of his scarf, and then his collar. Let's draw his collar in. Nice, and that goes down there. I am speeding with this line out right now. See, this is what happens when I don't speak and doesn't answer questions. It's like I go speed demon mode, so. And that direction. Right, and then down here. Also, I don't know, I feel like his sleeve might be a bit big down here. I don't know. And I'll reduce it slightly. His arm just looked a little big, that's all. Right, and then he'll turn his head there, so we will do that in a second. And then Elwyn. Oh, yeah, actually, your face angle is pretty similar to your ref here, so that makes my life way easier. Okay, so let's draw your hair first. And down that way. And your ear is showing on your ref at this angle. Oh, and there's a second strand going that way, that's fine. Then the ear shows down there. And bring it that way, across there, up here. Right, and then do the other side of her. Now, she has a strand actually come onto her face here, but I don't know how that's going to look, but I'll draw it in like that. Like her ref does at the moment, and then we'll see how it goes. Right, and then her face shape, which I feel like her face is a bit too round, so it needs to be slightly sharper. Which I think that should do the job. Her nose, her mouth, eyes. And then eyeballs. And this direction. Right, and then some hair strands down there too. And then you've got one poking out down here, which I've drawn in. And then maybe I'll work on her neck before putting the rest of her back hair in. So if we draw her amulet here, bring it that way, little floof tops. And same on this side as well, floof tops, neck, and then we could draw the back of her hair in, so that goes down there. Right, and then this goes more this direction, bring that down, again bring that down there. Bada bing, bada boom. And then her coat or jacket goes that way. Draw the entire shape in. That goes down there, and then actually we'll make a little gap down there. And do the vest line down there. Right, and then the buttons on top. And then we know there's a shadow line down there, so I will draw that in as well. Okay, and then I feel like Larkin will be slightly more looking that direction. As well, like that, because they should be more looking towards Ellen here. Okay, and then I might put the white outline around those two characters now. So if I do that, there we go. Right, and then is there, yeah. Let's clean this up slightly so it's just this part under here I can see. I don't think there's anything else. And then what I might do for this one, I might make the outline for both of them a slightly bolder like that. And then I'll just quickly erase down here. Right, and down here too. Okay, and then we need some notice lines or some flicks here, so give me 1 second. So let's do it on this layer, speed. Kind of like that, and then we need some notice lines as well, which are in my effects folder. And where are you? Notice. Right. And actually I might do that on a different layer. Copy, clear that, copy and paste, and increase the outline on these. Right, and then let's adjust these slightly. Might just make this one slightly smaller too. Right, and then we need another swoosh for element as well. Oh, hello, Sil. Oh, I made it in time today. How are you? I am doing okay. How are you doing, Sil? I know, it said it's the rare time that I do some, like, late live streaming. Usually I do it, like, during the middle of the day here in the UK, just because I am more wide awake and I feel more active to talk. But I was a bit bored this evening and I wanted people to speak to, so this is why I'm here this evening. But yeah, I was saying earlier, I'm getting my new glasses tomorrow, so I'm very, very excited to get those tomorrow, because my sight is a bit more bad than I thought. So I should see a lot better come tomorrow, hopefully. So I'm quite excited for that to happen. I'm sure I'll share the glasses on Discord tomorrow at least. If not, I'll post it on my socials too. But obviously you funded one of those pairs of glasses, so... Yeah, the light looks different today. I'm doing quite well. I'm glad. Yeah, I said I'll definitely show the glasses to you as soon as I get them tomorrow. I'll share them online with people. I'm very looking forward to them, just because they're very colourful this time. So compared to my usual glasses, because like I can show you what mine kind of look like now. They're kind of they're just a simple like cat's eyes lens with a bit of black on them, and then they're
They don't have a border at the bottom. They're just like loose at the bottom as such, which is fine. Like, I like my simple black glasses, but I've gone like all color this time for my glasses, which I've never done before. I've never gone like a different color apart from black. So what colors did I choose? I chose like a nice like clear pink color, like a really nice light pink color frame glasses. They're kind of the same shape as these ones in terms of like, I've always gone stuck with like these cat shape frames, but they should be slightly bigger as well. And then I've got another pair in like a greeny blue hue, and those are really nice. So I'm excited to see those as well. Those are a bit more harder to describe, so but yeah, I said I'm getting those tomorrow, and then I'm also getting a pair of sunglasses as well tomorrow. So I'll have 3 pairs of glasses. So yeah, I managed to buy 3 in the end. So but they will all be well worn. So because I wear my glasses all the time. I was explaining how I went in on Wednesday to try contact lenses for the first time. I managed to get one contact lens into one eye, couldn't get it in the other, and then I couldn't take out my contact lens in the one that I managed to put it in. So it was a bit of a failure on Wednesday trying to get contact lenses properly fitted in. But I'm going again next week to give it another shot. But like, if I can't get it in, like in my fights next week, and I can't get them out, then I think I'll just give up with contact lenses for now. But I wanted to give it a go, just in case I could easily put them in and out. But I think it's just trying to train my eyes not to flicker whenever I want to touch them, which obviously is like, for us, is like, because you don't touch your eyes, it's just like your natural instinct for your eyes is to obviously just close them whenever anything gets close to them, right? So I'm gonna be training basically touching my eyes for the next week and see if that does anything different by next week. So we'll see, but maybe I'll have contact lenses. We'll see as well. So just upgraded all your eyewear at once. Yeah, I mean, the thing is like my prescription has changed so much that I do just need to get new eyewear in general. And because now it's summertime as well, it's like I really need a pair of sunglasses to wear, especially like when you're driving. Having a pair of sunglasses handy is, you know, so useful to have, because I don't want to be blind, especially when I have blue eyes. You get like so sensitive to the light as well. It's you know, sunglasses are a saving grace for me, and it really helps as well because I suffer from severe travel sickness. So actually having some sunglasses actually helps with my travel sickness as well. So yeah, contacts are hard. Yeah, he said the thing is like, once I'm able to do it, I will just get better at doing it, you know. So once I'm able to get them in and out, I'll be quicker at doing it. It's just, again, you know, hoping my eyes will work with me with that. But I know contact lenses don't work for everyone. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I wanted to give it a go, at least have a try, you know, because I thought, oh, it'd be quite nice if I could get, you know, start wearing contact lenses, because I'm going on a cruise next month. So I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice if I didn't have to wear my glasses with some of my dresses for the evening. But it might be the case that I am wearing my glasses in the evening, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it would have been nice to have the option not to wear glasses with some of my outfits. But it is what it is. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to find a flower. Where did I put all my flowers? I feel like I had a separate folder for my flowers over here, but maybe I am mistaken. Oh no, I do. Here we go. Because her flower, like, let's actually get the right flower shape for her. So I don't know. It'd be more in that direction that we need it in. And then if we get rid of the stem, like that. Slightly increase that. Right, and then we got a slight black border around that. We don't want it too thick. Something like that. We do. Right, and then if we go back to doing the lineup for Elowen here. Not Elowen, Fleur. I'm going to get them mixed up because they both got short hair. So. Make sure not to touch your eyes dry. Touch your eyes dry. That hurts really bad. Yeah, it's that I haven't touched them at all today, just because they were stinging so much from trying the contact lenses on the other day. I didn't want to touch them whilst they were still hurting, and I wanted to give my eyes at least like 1 day of rest before touching them again. Yeah, that's my one worry with contact lenses, is my eyes going like super dry, because I've never had dry eyes before. But I know with like contact lenses, it is quite easy to get dry eyes. But yeah, I said I'm being a bit cautious, you know. So for me, it's like if I get contact lenses, I don't think I'd be wearing them all the time anyway. But it is something that I'm a bit cautious of, is, you know, getting dry eyes because of contact lenses. And I can't imagine what having dry eyes feel like, so I'd rather avoid it if I can. So thank you very much for the follows. I really appreciate it, guys. It really helps me out. It really helps push the stream out to more people, expose the manga to more people. So I really appreciate all the follows you guys are giving me. Really helps me out. So thank you, guys. Right, and then go down here. But yeah, it should be first thing tomorrow morning. I should be getting my glasses. So yeah, in 11 hours time, I should have my glasses. So exciting stuff, because you don't get new glasses often. At least I'm not someone who buys a bunch of glasses. Like usually I buy a pair, like 2 pairs of glasses, and then that's it until my prescription changes. But I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll start getting new pairs of glasses. We'll see. But you know, I just want to, usually I am just like, okay, if I get like any clothes, it's like, okay, I'll wear these until I wear them to death. Like that's just the sort of person I am. It's the same with my glasses. So I'm not someone who, like, as soon as I wear like my stuff, like a couple of times, and I'm like, oh, I'll throw it up on vintage. Like, that's not the sort of person I am. I will literally wear it until it is dead, essentially. So well loved, well worn. Because for me, it's like hard to find clothes that I feel like comfortable in as such. So, but I think that's more my autism more than anything else. So, not actually how I look in them. It's just more my autism and how they feel on me. So. Right, and then her hand. Right, and I can actually draw her fingernails on this hand, which I haven't been able to do yet this page, I don't think. Right, down there. Right, and then put the nail here. Okay, it's that direction. Down there. She's getting there. She is definitely getting there. Right. That line's very important for her character design, so let's put that in. That looks more like Elowen once I put that line in, so. Not Elowen. It's Fleur. Her name is Fleur. This is Elowen. Again, I'm gonna get these girls mixed up so badly. It's just gonna be terrible. Right, and then that goes down here. Just finished writing a little summary of my world backstory. It feels basic to me, but it's mind-blowing. I feel that it's like whenever I wrote down like my arcs and what I want to happen, it just felt like mind-blowing to me. It's like, okay, like this is gonna be like really good. And then, you know, when I actually like reread it, it's like most of the basic stuff ever for that arc. But I mean, it's like once you get it down, it's like if it's a good feeling, you know. So it's like, okay, now it's nice that I have it down because then I can always reread it. I can always look back at it because the thing is, it's like your ideas in your mind always slightly shift every so often. So when you go back and look at your previous ideas, you realise, oh, I didn't realise I wrote it in that way before. And then, you know, oh, this is actually, I like this idea better, or I like my current idea better. You know, it's quite good for preservation's sake, because I think it gives you a clear idea about what you want out from your arc. So, right, and funny enough, I don't have a reference sheet for Fleur, even though she first appeared in chapter 4. I've never drawn a reference sheet for Fleur, so I've always just been referencing her manga panels. Even though I feel like she does really deserve a reference sheet, considering how much she does appear in the Thieves Stuff from Death. Because it's like Flavie has a ref sheet, but Fleur doesn't have a ref sheet. So I don't know. I feel like I've been leaving her out a bit. Even though I feel like she just deserved to have an actual official ref sheet. So I am just going off of vibes with Fleur at the moment. So, okay, I'm sticking close to the sketch. Right, and then we need a G pen. Do we need a G pen? I could just use a line tool, I guess. Oh, where's the ruler? Thank you. Alright, and then that goes down here. Oh, this is not going to work. Here we go. Here. Really, and then that goes down here. Right. And then we draw some floor boards as well. Even though a lot of these floorboards are going to get cut up because of how the page will crop by the end, but it is what it is. I ain't going to draw these two there, so. And then, did I draw an outline around Fleur? I did, okay. That's the main thing. Okay, and then we've only got 2 more panels to do the line art for, and then we should be pretty much there. And then we'll see if I have enough energy to do screen tones tonight. Which I don't know if I will or not, folks. So I might, once we get the line art done, I might end the stream. But I don't feel like I have the energy. But I might do a time lapse for the screen tones for this page. Because I feel like I haven't posted a time lapse on TikTok in a very, very long time. So I feel like everyone deserves a bit of a time lapse video at some point. So I might do that. Or speed paints time lapse. I don't know which term is the better one to use, really. Right, and then Larkin. Oh yeah, this is, I forgot about this page, this panel. I wanted speed lines kind of going that way for Larkin, because he's getting pushed back by Elowen in this panel. So how am I going to do this? If I draw a main speed line first, so I've kind of got a reference. So if we, it should be kind of like that direction as such. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I guess, yeah, it's probably something like that, I guess. Right, and then if I do a special ruler, and then it'd be a slight curve going that direction. And then if we slightly adjust that, right, and then if we move it to the bottom layer here, okay, and then let's put that on a vector layer. Okay, we'll get rid of this one. Alright, and then let's get, should we get just the standard G pen maybe? And then we'll draw some speed lines this direction. and then it goes down there, and then we can also draw the folds in as well, and speed lines. Right, and then that's his cuff as well. Something like that, I don't know. I'm kind of just vibing, and whatever works. So we'll see the results of it once I kind of get everything sorted down. So right, and then to go down that way. Can you think quickly of how you panel? Sipping on a Pepsi Max Cherry right now. Yeah, I can show you. So essentially, if we grab a page here, right? First of all, obviously you get your frame. So this is your frame, for example, right? Now, depending on which page you're working on, you might. So, for example, if you're working on the right page of your manga, you need to bring your margin in on your left in slightly more. So basically your artwork isn't falling into your spine of your book essentially. So you've got to make sure that your page is kind of moved over to this a bit more. So you're giving, more of white space falling into your gutter essentially. So do that first, and then from there you can kind of just cut up your border however you want. So usually what I try to do is keep it in like 3 sections. Sometimes I break this and I put it into 4 sections. But usually you put it into 3 sections, right? For example, if we wanted to, I don't know, do like a diagonal here, one big panel down here, and then do something like that maybe. There you go, that's like a panel format. And then, I don't know, let's imagine it's like someone's like, I don't know, okay, there's a boulder, there's Indiana Jones running away from like running away from like the boulder or something, and then he's like and then I don't know, we see like the big boulder like coming towards him, and he's kind of like, what do I do? It's like he kind of like turns back for a second, and I don't know. I'm making stuff up at the moment, and then we get like I don't know, kind of dodges in this direction, and then the ball kind of like falls down here, and there's like a wall down here, and then what do you do? And then he's here. He's against the wall here, and he's like, and then like the boulder kind of rolls past him or something. And then you kind of have like a close up of him kind of going like with his eyes closed, going like, phew, or something. There you go. That's how you panel. There you go. That's my short story. But yeah, paneling is a bit more fun, and you can kind of adjust your panels however you will. For example, what you'll probably see me do is I tend to like drag this one down slightly, and the reason why I do that is because for me, the reader eyes will see that, okay, I know I need to read this panel first before this panel. Whilst if I had it like this way, sorry if I bring it back, the tendency is like, I don't think most readers would do it anyway, but some readers might read straight down to here, but usually they won't. They know they will go into this one and then into that one and down there, because that's like a sort of F shape that you follow, right? But sometimes just to make it like incredibly short, and usually I bring that slightly down, and then if the eye will more naturally go towards this panel down here. So that's what I tend to do as well, and then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'll bring this up so I can put the page number down here or something. So, you know, you put like 120 or something like that down the corner there, and then, you know, you have your page number there if you don't need that entire panel. Like, there's like certain things you can do to, you know, fix your panels up. So there you go. Hopefully that kind of explains it. Right, and then, okay, back to speed lines for Larkin here. Thank you, that was definitely helpful. Yeah, I hope my Indiana Jones drawing did explained it well. It said, I do some amazing thumbnails, folks. Right, and then I have a few more on this side here too. So that's the outside of his face. Right, and then I guess you would have some strands down that way too. And this one here as well. Yeah, cause look, you can really see, like, you can see the silhouette of Larkin here already, just with some of those speed lines put in. Right, and then if we go in with some simple lines on the back here, because this is a part that shouldn't have speed lines on it. Right, and then his hair's going back into a ponytail back here, so let's draw that in. Right, his ear, I always hate drawing ears. Ears are really difficult for me to draw. That goes down there. Bring that down here. Down there. How did you get into manga creations? Well, I've always been writing longer than I've been drawing. So I've been writing since I was a child. I've loved writing stories and things like that. So when I was, you know, growing up, I always wanted to be an author. But I found a love for drawing when I was about 13 or so, and kind of the two worlds just kind of collided, because it just kind of made sense that I loved drawing, and then I was like, oh, I actually also really want to tell stories, so comics is really that middle ground that really latched on to me. And then, you know, when I was reading manga and stuff, I was like, oh, I really like this art style, I really like this sort of storytelling, I wish I could create something like that. And then I was like, oh, actually I can make something like that. And then it's just kind of all fell into place, really, over the years. I mean, I've been working on this manga for 2 years now, but like this is my first ever like long project manga. Like, I've made like several comics in the past, which are really short. Like, I'm talking like 2 pages to like 4 pages long. Like, I never really made like a long project until now, so this is like my first attempt at a longer project. But yeah, it's like a story I've always wanted to tell, so, you know, for me, it's like I can finally just get it out there, you know, have a passion project out there. But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I draw manga as such. I have ideas for manga, but I don't know how to draw. How would you recommend starting? Like I always say to people, if you want to learn to draw manga, the most important thing really isn't your art style, it's the readability of your pages. So what I'd recommend to do is like go to like one of your favorite mangas, or if you want something really basic to learn from, I'd recommend Moriarty the Patriot, because their panel layouts are super simple to learn from and understand. And basically you just want to understand, oh, how do they pace a page, and how did they panel it, and like why did they panel it in this way to get this sort of pacing effect. And then pay attention to the lettering as well, because the lettering is a really key important part of making your manga feel like a manga, and seeing how where they've placed the artwork, and it actually works in tone with the artwork itself. Because what a lot of people do with comics, and you see this with like all comics, especially indie comics, is that what you'll find is that a lot of the time the speech bubbles will always gravitate towards the edge of the page and never like within the art panel itself. So you're always glancing to the edge of the panel to read a page, and that's something that you kind of want to avoid, really. You kind of want your lettering to work in tow with your artwork, and that's kind of how you make your comic feel more professional in a sense, and especially in manga, it really does work within the artwork itself. So that's what I recommend to do, is kind of just study some of your favorite like manga artists, because again, like in terms of like drawing abilities, like even like the start of the Thieves of Stuff and Death, like I wouldn't say my art was amazing at the start of the Thieves of Stuff and Death, but it's like because you just draw so much and you're forced to draw so many things that you never thought you would have to draw, like your art will just improve whilst you're drawing comics. But yeah, like I always say, it's just I would honestly just focus on the readability of your comics more than anything else, because in the end of the day, it's your writing that's gonna get you to places rather than your artwork. Like your artwork is just kind of like the entrance into getting people to go and check out your stuff, right? Like your artwork is basically like the front cover, like to get people interested is your artwork, whilst actually your writing is what gets people to stick around more. So I honestly wouldn't worry too much in terms of where your art level is. Focus on readability and focusing on your storycraft is what I recommend, because I feel like a lot of people forget that. And I feel like a lot of people would need that lesson from indie work that I have read. So oh, your manga looks amazing, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I've been working on this for 2 years now, so I'm glad you like my stuff. Right, and then the front of his vest also needs some speed lines. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So if you have anything else, I'm more than happy to answer your questions for you. Right, and then I don't know if I should write out Larkin here, maybe. The thing is, I'll probably just do Larkin in a gradient here. I won't even like put his full screen tones here. So if I just if I select this, I might just put his screen tone gradient in now, because I feel like it would kind of just be something like this, and then we can always just erase some of it out. So yeah, it should be something like that, and then we go this way, and we'll slightly erase. Oh, we don't want to draw onto it, we want to erase some of them. Some of the screen tones down here. And then we can do the same for the white background in a second too. Right, and then we select the area of that, and then delete the outside area for that. Brilliant. Okay. Thank you. Definitely going to check it out on and read on Webtoon. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you do enjoy it. Basically, I'm drawing chapter 11 now, and this is like the final hurrah of the first arc. So you're probably drawing a really good point if you want to read it. So I started a channel singing and manga creating, as well as featuring talents. Really, that's so cool. What's your channel called? Is it like a YouTube channel, or is it like here on TikTok? Would you be okay if I featured you in my video at all? Or could it? Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to. Like I'm pretty happy with people using like panels and stuff from my manga to talk about it and things like in that nature. Like, so feel free just to use my manga as you will for your content. I do not mind at all if you feature me. So if you enjoy it and you want to feature me, so I'd really appreciate it, honestly. Oh, it's on TikTok. Yeah, it said if you tag me in it, if you post a video with my stuff in it, feel free just to tag me and I'll repost the video. So we can help each other out, you see. So like someone recently made like an edit of the Fetus Soft and Death, like literally made the first ever edit for the Fetus Soft and Death yesterday, and I was so shocked when I opened my notifications and I saw like someone made an entire edit of Larkin and Fletcher. Like I never thought, like, guys, I thought I'd get like a fan fiction first before an edit, but no, I got an edit before a fan fiction. So I got 3 things out of my bucket list ticked off now out of 5. So that was an achievement yesterday, and I really appreciate that person making that edit, because it really did make my day. So and then is that one? Yeah, it was really cool. I said that it was a really cool moment, receiving that edit. Yeah, if you could tag me, I'd really appreciate it. I said, I'll definitely repost and reshare it with everyone. I'll probably mention it on my other social media too, so hopefully that can give you a bit more traction too. So, like, something you'll learn very quickly about me, like, I just like sharing and supporting people. So, yeah, but yeah, just tag me and I'll try and share it to places. So. Also, I apologize if anyone's messaging on Discord. I will get back to you at some point. Basically, as soon as I get this line out done tonight, I'll have like a Discord. So, right, and then her collar goes down there, and that's her end of her face down there. And that goes down there. And then her hand is here. Thank you. What software should beginners use? Honestly, like any drawing platforms, if you're just a beginner starting out, like just draw with any sort of digital program, or if you want to do traditional. I don't think there is a bad place to start creating manga. Like I literally just started creating comics in my sketchbook. Like what I use is Clip Studio Paint, the expert edition. So like this is like the proper like comic software that everyone kind of uses for comic production. But like if you're just starting out, like honestly, don't worry about purchasing Clip Studio Paint right away. Just use whatever you have available to you. Because like Clip Studio Paint can be a bit daunting if you don't know what you're doing with it, and it might be like too many tools to kind of start out with, you know what I mean? So it's really where you feel like, you know, whenever you kind of feel like you're ready to try like the more professional tools, like that's when I'd recommend getting Clip Studio Paint, because it is like the comic program to get, really. So I'm not too worried about how her fingers look down here, really. Guess not going to be in that much detail, right? And then her gun reference. I don't think you guys can really see Elowen from this angle. If I kind of like bring it back a bit, you guys can see maybe her wrap a bit more. So if I bring it over a bit more here. Alright, and then if we flip this across, there you go. Yeah, I said I do have like ref sheets for most of my characters. I was just chatting about how like the villain in this page, her name is Fleur, and I don't have a reference sheet for her, even though she's appeared more than this character Elowen, and Elowen's got a ref sheet. So I feel like Fleur definitely deserves a ref sheet, but I just haven't made one for her yet. So. I mean, we're getting to the end of the arc now, so I don't think she'll receive one. But I mean, I think she would have deserved one. I should have done one for her, a ref sheet for her earlier on, really. But it is what it is now. So right, and then that goes up here. Okay, that direction.
No, oh, actually, I need speed lines on her hand as well, don't I? Let's put them this direction. Looks awesome, thank you. I said this is not even like one of my most detailed reference sheets. Like this is insanely simple for my ref sheets actually. And I do apologize because like a lot of this is in Japanese. The reason why it's in Japanese is because usually I give these ref sheets to Japanese artists to do like artworks for me. Because people who don't know, I really like commissioning artwork of my characters. Just for like personal use. I don't use it for like advertising or anything. It's just personal use that I use it for. So this is why like I have like 20 million graph sheets for my characters in Japanese. I promise it's not because I don't want you guys not to be able to read anything on it. It's just I usually just give these to my Japanese artists I commission. So. Alright, and let's get everyone back up here now. Right, and then if we draw a white background behind that. Oh, I need to draw a little line on her gun as well. Give me 1 second, let me just put this in. Alright, okay. And then... oh, that does not go white here. We can erase this part. Go down there, and then she needs a line going up her gun here. So let me turn that off. It'll be like a little line coming up this way. That should be glowing. So, okay. Right, I'm just gonna move that back up here for a sec. Okay, and then Fleur, let's work on you. Go this direction up here. Right, and this all goes essentially to this parting here. Right. I appreciate all the hearts, guys. I don't know who's spamming, but I really appreciate it. Thank you also for the follows. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking I must be at 1,000 followers now. So if I am, thank you very much, because that means I can link my stuff properly on my profile. So I will work on that after the stream. I really appreciate any follows because, again, I'm a really small creator. I'm not the best at advertising my comic online, really, so I really do appreciate all the follows. People who are interested in my work. I really do appreciate it. Right, and then Arias is down here. You'll be a regular now? I appreciate that. No, I appreciate the hearts. It said, if you do have a Discord, I do have a Discord server, and that's kind of where I let people know when I'm live. So you can join it if, you know, you like my work, if you're just an artist yourself, or you're aspiring comic artist, or illustrator, or whatever you may be. Like, it's kind of just like, anyone is sort of welcome, sort of Discord server. So if you ever just wanted to hang out with some people, it's like really small. It's a nice group of people in there. So if you ever wanted to join it, I do have a link to it in like my lit link, which you can find in my bio, on my TikTok profile. You know, feel free to join, if you would like to. Because we just kind of hang out and we chat, and you know, there's some people who talk about their own stories on there, and you know, it's just a nice community of people in there. So yeah. So yeah, it's on my lit link if you want to join. Because I'll make sure I'll add you as a member on my Discord server then. So but yeah, it's a very chill community on there if you just want like somewhere small to hang out. You know, so feel free to join if you'd like to.
And right, you're gonna give me a proper flower shape here. That will do the job. Okay, let's shrink this down here and actually make it slightly bigger. Right, and remove the stem. We'll make the outline thicker too. Do it like that. Right, and then if we slightly warp it as well, like that. Okay, and then if we draw the rest of Fleur now. What's your favourite manga? Tough question, I know. Okay, so my favourite manga of all time is D. Gray Man. D. Gray Man is one of my favourite manga, but like, for me, manga is really hard for me to say what my favourite is, because it's like, I definitely have like a favourite like sort of genre, you know, like sort of like manga that I really vibe with, even though I wouldn't necessarily call them like masterpieces. It's like something like I really enjoy, even though I know it's not like a masterpiece as such, but like I really like series like Moriarty's Patriot, Black Butler, what other series are there? I don't like Case Study of Vanitas. Like, I don't like the characters in Case Study of Vanitas, but I really like the story of Case Study of Vanitas. I like that sort of vibe. One of my other favourite manga is Fukigen no Mononiken, which is only in Japanese, but it's really good, and I really like it. It's got like yokai and stuff in it. I really like Natsume's Book of Friends. I'm not so keen on the manga as I am on the anime. I much prefer the anime, to be quite honest with you. What else do I enjoy? I really enjoyed The Royal Tutor. The Royal Tutor is a manga that I really enjoyed. I really like the anime adaptation of it too. So I really enjoy The Royal Tutor. What else do I enjoy? There's a lot of things I enjoy. I really like Seraph at the End. That's a big one. I really like Seraph at the End too. I'm a big fan of Seraph at the End. Yeah. I said like those sort of series I really enjoy. Like, my friend refers to like those sort of series as dark shoujo, because technically like the majority of the manga that I just mentioned are technically shonens, right? But we call it dark shoujo because we know that the majority of the readers are actually women, right? So that's why we call it dark shoujo. So that's why if you hear me use the term dark shoujo, that's kind of like the series that I'm describing. So ooh, there's more of elements then I forgot to draw here. I'm just realising that. Because her finger is on the trigger down here. Yeah, I would be kind of Moriarty. But yeah, I said, again, I'm happy. I'm happy to talk, like, manga series on my Discord. Like, I am really down. And to be fair, I actually need to catch up with Black Butler, you know? I need to catch up with Black Butler, and I'm not up to date with Moriarty. Like, I'm up to the physical release with Moriarty. I think I'm just, like, 2 volumes out on the physical release with Moriarty, so I'm not quite up to date, but I'm pretty much up to date, you know what I mean? So these. Okay, so why does your drawing tablet like massive? What model is it? It's a Cintiq 32, so it's like the biggest tablet on the market as such. So it's a big beast. Like, this is my iPad. This is the comparison I use now because I feel like people know what an iPad looks like. Okay, so this is my iPad. Okay, it's like a standard size iPad. It's not like a big version of the iPad. That is my iPad compared to my drawing tablet. It always makes me laugh whenever I do this comparison, but this is how big my iPad is compared to my drawing tablet. But yeah, that's a Cintiq 32 for you, so. But I love this thing. It's I wouldn't change it for the world. I love my 32, so. Right, and then let's draw some more frills on Fleur. I really want to say Elowen, and it's not Elowen because Elowen's the other girl. It's gonna be a long night, folks. So you're gonna get Elowen and Fleur mixed up like 24/7. So Right, and then there's a shadow under her neck here. And then her ears up here, so her neckline will go down there somewhere. And then the back of her neck, collarbone, dun dun dun, dun dun. Right, and then that should be slightly thicker coming down here. Okay, that's way bigger than I thought. I'm jealous. I have one by Wacom. Yeah, it's a beast, honestly. I'm very lucky to have this tablet. Like, I say this, I've got a 32 here, and then over here I've got a 28. So I've got like two of the biggest tablets on the market. But I'm very fortunate to have that, and you know, I'm lucky that I'm able to afford to buy these tablets as well. So, but I mean, it was worth all the money and investment into them because I cannot live without them now. So, but I got them secondhand, so like I didn't buy them full price. And then should our shoulder be here? I feel like at least a little bit of shoulder should be that flutter, really. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like a little bit of shoulder would go a long way there, actually. But I don't know why I didn't draw her shoulder in originally, really. There we go. Right, and then let's put a white background behind her. I love your art. It's like watching a professional. Can I ask if it's work or personal? It is personal. So I am on chapter 11, page 7 of my manga series. So it's my passion project I'm working on. So it is a personal project. But I mean, I am currently contracted to be a scriptwriter for a webtoon project that I cannot talk about at the moment. So I am doing a little bit of professional work, but not like proper professional, like I am drawing comics full-time as my career sort of thing, because I work part-time as a library assistant at the moment, so that's like the main job that I do is a library assistant. But I mean, I'd love to do comics full-time. That would be my dream. Specifically working on this full-time would be my dream, you know what I mean? So but no, I'm glad you like my stuff. Is that you know for you to even say that, like, you know, oh, is it like professional work? That means that does mean a lot to me. So right, and then okay, let me get rid of this sketch down here. Right, and then we just got flower panel down here then, so, and then okay, let me save this for a second, let me preview it. Are you UK based? Yes, I am from Wiltshire in the UK, so southwest of England. Yeah, I live in the UK. Okay, so then okay, the quality is not the same as my other pages. That's the main thing. It's like just checking the quality of them. Because again, I didn't think my sketch was really the best for this page. I feel like I could have done a better sketch, but it is what it is. But it looks alright, so as long as it looks alright. Sweet, I'm based in the. Oh, nice. Is that I haven't actually like I come across a few. We got a few UK people who watch my streams and read my manga and such like that, but I've never had anyone from there ever, you know, comment saying, oh, I am from here. So that's really cool. Oh wait, where's my flower brushes? Flower. Where are you? Can we find a good one? Which is not like a bunch of two. We just want like a separate one. Should we flip it this way slightly? bring it that direction and bring it up here. Right, and we get rid of the stem. And then I'll just make that slightly thicker, but not that thick. Don't like that thickness. Right, and then if we draw the vector line for her here. But I still just like Elowen pointing a gun in first face. I feel like I don't know why, but it's just kind of funny to me. Like the first impression that Fleur gets of Elowen is just like a gun to her face. So I feel like that summarizes Elowen as a character really well. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like my art. Oh, you're from Leicestershire. Which app are you using? I'm using something called Clip Studio Paint EX. So it's a professional version of Clip Studio Paint. It's kind of like what all comic artists use. It's like the go-to application. I said I actually studied in Leicester for my concept and comic arts degree. So I do know Leicester fairly well. I said I spent 3 years over there, so. Oh, where was that? Yeah, so I did my concept and comic art degree at the Montfort University. It's not like the most high flat university out there in the UK. It's really not. But it was so much fun. I was the first ever intake for that course. But it's been running for like almost 5 years now, I guess, because I left like 2 years ago now. Like I graduated about 2 years ago now. From that course, so it's been running for quite a while now. But I mean, they've got a really fantastic game art course over at De Montfort, and you know, very highly regarded game art course in De Montfort. But no, I really enjoyed studying in Leicester. It was, you know, one of my favourite times of my life. You know, being in Leicester. I do miss it. I do miss university a lot. But it was totally worth going. I studied animation design. There's 3 years, and then postgrad for 2. Nice. Yeah, it said my program was for 3 years, but there wasn't like a master's or anything in De Montfort for me to do like post studies. Like I can do a master. Well, there used to be a master's course in Dundee, so all the way up in Scotland for comics. But they don't do a master's course now for comics up in Dundee. So there's only like one place I think you can kind of do masters in comics, which is Teesside, I think, because I went over to Teesside to check their master's course, and they've got a master course in Teesside, but I'm not a big fan of Teesside. Like I wouldn't probably want to live there. But I know you can do your PhD at the Montfort University, so I mean, if I ever wanted to go back into higher education, it probably would have to be for PhD, right? So, but no, the thing is, I really enjoy like the research side of comics. Funnily enough, at university, like I always graded quite highly in my academic writing at university, but I really like studying comics, and like especially like to me what's kind of fascinating about comics is like how people are influenced in comic creation, like what influenced an artist to make a comic. Like that is something that's always really interested me. For people who don't know, I'm like a really big fan of Hergé, like the person who created Tintin. And you know, I find like Hergé like a really fascinating man, and you know, I just like there's like a lot of stuff like I like stuff like that. You know, like actually how does a comic get made? What is it influenced by? That's like sort of a subject that's always really interested me. But like I wouldn't mind you know, doing like a PhD in comics. Like I wouldn't mind being like a researcher in comics, you know. So like I know one of my friends is Queenie-chan, who created the manga series The Dreaming, right? And that came out in like the mid 2000s via Tokyo Pop. So she was like one of the OG original English language manga creators here in the West. and she's Australian, right? But she just finished her PhD into like webtoons. So she is officially a doctor in comics. So it's like it is possible to become like a doctor in comics. She is one of the examples of that. So. Alright, and then how about I here? Go down here. Right. How is she looking? She's looking menacing, which I want. I like that she's looking menacing. She is definitely up to no good in this panel. I think I can also just move these referees out of the way because I don't have one for Fleur, so she goes there, down there, right, and then that goes down there, so go here. And down here too. Right, and then that goes that side, down this way, and then this one should go more straight really. Go down there. Okay, and then that should be a line down there. Sorry, I am concentrating right now. I will read your comments in just a second if you left any. I will have a look. That's the back of her hair. Right, and then we need shadows by her neck down here, which is fine. Right, and that comes down there. Oh, no, the pen's a bit thick here. Kind of down there. Kind of like that, maybe. I don't think we need it really down here though. So we can kind of corner that off and then slightly make this darker maybe. Make the neck area here darker. If anything, this, okay, that, if you think that that's the point down there, her shoulders can come up a bit higher, I guess. Oh, sorry, her, like, the neck connecting to her shoulder can go higher. That's hard to describe it, I don't know what it's called, but... Right, so let me have a look. Honestly, this is lovely to watch. I've been doing similar stream daily, working on projects. Yeah, it's that it's kind of, you know, I only started like streaming my process about, I'd say almost 3 weeks ago now. But like, for me, I get a lot of enjoyment working on my projects on stream. I feel like I do like chatting to people. It makes I think the line art process a lot easier because I always find like line art to be like the most boring thing in the planet to do. So for me, being able to live stream it really helps me out. It makes me feel, you know, less bored doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's like I love screen toning. Like screen toning is like one of my favorite things to do. It's just the process of getting there. It's just a long process. You know, so. And that goes down that way, and that goes further down. And then that kind of goes down this way. What do you use to draw on? I use a Cintiq 32. This is one of the biggest drawing tablets on the market. So it's a very big device. It's, you know, not for everyone, but it is very, very big, but I love it. So, but yeah, a Wacom 32 Cintiq is what I use. Right, and then down here. Brilliant, okay, and then we can get rid of the gap down here. Okay, do I screen tone? It is 11:45 here, and I don't really want to stay up any later than midnight. So do we think we can get the screen tones done by midnight, folks? This is the big question here. Because we've got all the line art done, but not the screen tones. Cast your votes. I don't know. I don't know if I'll get my screen tones done before midnight. And that will annoy me if I can't get them done by midnight. So, is this an app, please? Yeah, so it's called Clip Studio Paint EX. So it's the expert edition of Clip Studio Paint. It is something that you have to pay for. But if you want to create like comics or manga, it's like the program to use. So I do highly recommend it. Or, you know, buying it if you're really serious about producing comics. You won't regret it, you know, so. Right now, a lot of people are being mean about a poster comparison I posted recently. Really, it's like your own like posters, or are you just comparing posters for from other artists or something like that? People like online are just like incredibly mean. I'll be honest, for like no reason. I feel like usually these people are just like miserable in their own lives, and they just want to take it out on someone else and make them feel miserable. Or, you know, people don't see like how much work gets put into something. And, you know, I feel like one of the hardest things to get used to is people not liking your work. Like, it's inevitable when you're posting stuff online, right? And, you know, you get all of these negative comments. It's just like sometimes people are just going to stumble upon something and they just want to comment on it. And there's nothing you can do to stop them, and it really sucks, but it's what it is. You know, usually it's the people who I tend to deal with who kind of come in. It's usually people who's like, you know, oh, this is a comic, not a manga. And I'm like, well, I'll be honest, bro, I don't really care. Like, if I kind of just bring that nonchalant, like, sort of attitude, then usually they don't even comment again. Like, they don't respond back, they don't, you know, they don't react to it. Because if I give like a really inactive response to something, to like a mean comment, like they are like, oh, well, I'm not getting a reaction out of this person. So that's what I do. It's like, don't try and, you know, react too hard about them. Like, if anything, you can kind of just make a bit of fun out of them. It's like, for me, it's like, bro, I don't care if you call it a comic or a manga, like, it doesn't really bother me. You know, that's the sort of comments I tend to get. Or people like calling like my manga a flop. I'm like, well, bro, I don't really care because it's a passion project. And in the end of the day, like, I don't really give a shit. Like, your words really do not affect me. Like, whatever you're trying to say, like, you're trying to just put me down for the sake of putting me down. I'm like, well, to be honest, bro, I don't really care what you think. So, like, you know, you do you, bro. Like, if that's what you think, that's what you think. I don't give a shit, you know. So. Comparing my poster art to an official poster, yeah. Because people, the thing is like, when people love like an official product, that's when they get like really defensive, right? So you're kind of like stumbling upon like those sort of fans, and yeah, that's really difficult to deal with. I don't envy your position whatsoever, you know. So it's tough, and it, you know, the negativity does get to you. Like I've been there, so. You know, it's something that will pass with time. Best thing to do is just to ignore it, honestly. Like, just ignore the comments as you will, or, you know, if even then you could just block them. But even then, I don't block anyone. So, like, they can keep commenting if they want to, unless they start, like, harassing me. You know what I mean? Like, once it gets to, like, the harassing phase, I'm like, okay, mate, like, just leave me alone. So... Right, and then we need a should I draw the haha out? I feel like I should. Because I don't think I'll have like any pre-made lettering that would fit that space. So let me see if I can do that. Lettering brushes. I knew I had to stop responding when people jumped and gaslit. Should I turn off comments? I wouldn't turn off the comments. I feel like that would give the more fuel to the fire, honestly. I just leave them be. Like, let them be mad in silence. That's what my suggestion would be. Like, just let them be mad in silence. Because, you know, if they're not getting a response out of you, then they'll just give up, you know? If you don't feed into that sort of, like, attention, like they will just give up, you know. You're not, you know, they're not gonna get what they're looking for. They're not gonna get that rise that they're trying to feed, chase after to make someone else feel miserable about something. So like, it is best just to ignore them. Leave them be, let them suffer in their own worlds, you know. They can be miserable if they want to be miserable. Like, protect your own peace, you know. That's what I recommend. Let me know if I can help. I can draw a stickman. You know, a stickman is all I need for someone to help me out with thumbnails, mate. So, right, should I screen tone? I feel like I can screen tone. I can do a little bit of screen tone, but once I reach midnight, I will end the stream now. Just because I am tired. I am very tired. But the thing is, with Fleur, she's really easy to screen tone because she is just 10%. She is nothing else. She is 10% and that's it. So, but Eloin and Larkin is a bit more complicated when it comes to that screen toning. So, right. So let's crack on with it. So this is 70% down here. Let's shade that all in. This is always my favourite part, and I feel like this is also the favourite part for a lot of people who come into my stream and watch me all the time, is the screen toning process. So hopefully you guys can just enjoy just watching me do my thing. So it's really hard to explain how I screen tone, honestly, so it's just better that you watch and hopefully you can learn from it. So alright, so if I go 70, but yeah, if you guys weren't here earlier, I do have a Discord server, so if you like my work, or, you know, you're an artist yourself, you're a comic creator yourself, or you just, you know, just want to chill, hang out, and you like my work, even if you don't read my manga, like, you are free to join my Discord server. It's a very chill, very small community of people over there. We just kind of hang out, chill out, you know, we just chat and chill. You know, so if you just want like a small community to hang out with, I will also like announce when I'm live streaming on there too. Feel free just to check out my Discord server. Like I said, very small. It's very, very small, but a very nice community of people if you want to hang out. I do fear that people will join my stream just to harass me. Honestly, I'd ignore it. Like, the thing is like, you do have some moderation tools to your disposal. Like, if you check your live settings, you can, like, disable certain words. So, like, you can filter out words, right? So, like, if there's anything, like, you know, that might be related to that video, like, you can just block tabs, and then, some, you know, the comments will be held and such, you know. But, you know, the thing is like, even when I live stream, there's just weirdos who just join, and like try and put you down for like no reason whatsoever. Like, these people have never seen like my work before, and they just want to be mean about it for some reason, and you're just like, okay. You can't really do anything to really stop it. But no, it's like, I feel like the more fear you show is like, you know, that's what they want, you know. So just be yourself, just do your usual shtick, you know. Like, doing your usual shtick will just like get them to ignore you, you know. So, you know, don't pray into whatever attention they're kind of looking for. Just do your usual stuff and ignore them. So yeah, I agree. A lot of people do it out of jealousy. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, and it said, you know, again, because they don't feel confident in themselves. Again, because these people do tend to be very insecure. about themselves and their own work, and they will just take it out on other people. And when they see other people like live streaming and being confident with their own work, I feel like in a way they kind of just want to take people down a notch because they feel like, I don't know, like people, I don't know how to really put it. It's just they don't like seeing someone succeeding because they feel like they should be succeeding, but then they don't want to put themselves out there. It's a complicated dynamic. There's no real reason why people just want to be mean. But what I always say to myself is like, these people are just not mature. They're not mature people. They've probably got a lot of shit going on in their lives, and I'm just like, you need to get yourself sorted out, mate. So. Right, and then 30 for the tongue. Right, and then 50 for his neck scarf. And I think, can I turn off this layer for a sec? Yeah, okay. I know we'll need to move these above the screen tone layer, so let me do that too. Shove that in. Right, and then we do that. And then we need some shading here as well. So let's select this portion. Let's put this into 60. Select the 50 layer. And we shade all of that in. And I will do a slight gradient down in this part here. And we'll do some other lines down here too. How do you feel in the screen tones within the lines? It seems very time efficient. Yeah, so what I tend to do, I just get the bucket tool. I just go to the bucket tool and I just like select everything. I know a lot of people just like lasso tool it all in, but that's something I don't like to do. I just grab a bucket tool and I just kind of just go crazy with it. That's a quick way I do it anyway. Yeah, I said that's how I screen tone. It's just bucket tool and fill it all in. So like once you kind of got like your screen tone layers ready, you could just bucket tool it all. So it's a rare time that I use the bucket tool, like before this I never really used the bucket tool, so not even for like my illustrations I never used the bucket tool, until I drew comics. Right, and then this is 80 for the back here, and then his vest or race coast or whatever you like to call it will be in grey. So let's make a grey layer and get his pattern up, and then it should just go. Okay, actually let me select some of the parts that didn't get selected, and that should go down this direction, but it has not picked up this corner here either, and then goes down there, and then we convert it back to screen tone. There we go. No, I didn't know that was an option. Thank you. I use the lasso tool. Yeah. Bucket tool. Bucket tool for screen tones is your best friend. I can't recommend the bucket tool enough. I feel like because like we as artists, we tend to ignore the bucket tool like all the time, really. Because like we find like better ways of like using different tools to in our illustrations. So we kind of just forget that bucket tool kind of exists. But yeah, I highly recommend just using the bucket tool for your screen tones. What do you think of Bleach and Jujutsu Kaisen? I've seen Bleach. I like Bleach. I'm like I'm like one of the rare people who really enjoyed Bleach. I feel like, like I tried to get into Naruto, I tried to get into One Piece. Bleach was always the series that stuck with me, and I, watched the entire anime with. I've never seen Jujutsu Kaisen though, so I can't tell you how I feel about Jujutsu Kaisen. It's something that I still need to watch. It's on my to watch list. But I was kind of waiting for the hype to die down because I didn't want to be influenced by the hype and the fandom, you know what I mean? So I like to go in when it's a bit more dead, as such. Do you really usually stream around this time? It's quite relaxing to watch. I sometimes, sometimes I don't like to live stream this late. Usually I live stream during the day. So usually I live stream, probably like midday to like late afternoon. That's when I usually live stream. Usually I don't live stream this late. Like I think I've only live streamed this late like maybe twice in the last 3 weeks. So it's a bit rarer, but sometimes I do. But I mean, I can live stream more this time if more people are around and want to hang out during this time. But no, I'm glad you find it relaxing. I'm glad you feel quite chill and relaxed in here. So. Right, and then we put some more highlights in Eloin hairs now. And then OMG, Jujutsu Kaisen has been inspired by Bleach. You should watch it in your own time. Okay, well that's good to know. It said if it's like mainly inspired by like Bleach, then I'll probably really enjoy Jujutsu Kaisen then. And me too. I couldn't watch One Piece and Naruto. It was Bleach for me. Yeah, they said I don't know why that is because that's what I find with a lot of Bleach fans. It's like they couldn't really get into One Piece and Naruto, but they just fell in love with like Bleach, and like I did like a lot of flaws with Bleach. Like, don't get me wrong, but like generally, like as a series, like as a long running like shonen, like I thought it was really good. Even if it does have its moments. But no, I really like the characters. I love the character designs. I think in a way I just prefer more mature protagonists, and I feel like Bleach and like their cast of characters is just a lot more older, a lot more mature compared to like the other big two, right? So I say that, but One Piece do have more mature characters. I just don't know. I tried to get into One Piece. I got like 20 episodes in, and I kind of just dropped it. But it's not like the issue being too long because I'm a fan of Detective Conan. Like the length isn't an issue for me because I'm a Detective Conan fan. I just couldn't get into it. That's all. So even though I could tell, like, oh yeah, this is good, but it's not like good enough for me to dedicate like a ton of time into it. You know what I mean? So. Right, and then if we put the swash back in. Alright, and then Elwyn skirt. Alright, I can bring Harashi back over here now. Right, so if we add her shadows in first, and then I will. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll add her shadow in first, and then I'll put her pattern in. Right, and so that goes down there. And right, and then do a slight gradient there. Okay, and then that should look good. If I get rid of that, and then if I just select this guy itself, and then throw the pattern on it. Where is that? That is over here. Right. And then if I slightly tilt it as well, there we go. That's Edo in skirt right there. That's what it looks like. And then her belt is black, and her gun case is also black, and then this is 70 here. And then her potion bottles are 50, so it is, and then the lid is 70. Skirt is 20 down here, and so is her top, because that's all one part. Right, and then if we add shadows to that 20 here as well. Tracy, also about Jujutsu Kaisen, there's this mystery about the author, and I seriously thinks he's a woman, which is rare for this type of manga. Yeah, I heard about that. It's the same with, like, Demon Slayer. Like, people think, like, the person who wrote Demon Slayer is also a woman, because, like, her identity or his identity is, like, kind of a mystery too, right? But the thing is, it's quite funny, because, like, a lot of my favorite shonen series are written by women. Like, I really, like, if you were here earlier, you guys would know that my favorite manga is The Great Man, and that's written by a woman, but it's also a shonen series. But yeah, that's my favorite manga is The Great Man, so. But yeah, a lot of my favorite manga series is written by women though, so. Right, and then that's her glove. Right, and shadows for her glove now. So if we select the 50 layer and put some shadow down here. And then put it down there. 8. And then her boots are pretty dark. I can't remember if I do it in black. I think usually I do it in black, and then I kind of erase some of it. I'll show you guys what I mean in a second. If I do this in black, so just this. If I just cover that all in black, and let me just fill some of the white gaps in here. Right, and then if I select this and then put the 70 underneath it, and then get back to the black here, right, and then I should be able just to erase some of it. Kind of give that like shiny glossy effect. And then there you go. That should do the job. There you go. That's her boots. And then we got Larkin now. So Larkin, his trousers go down. We don't have his racing lines at this angle, which is usually what's on his trousers. Right, and then if we change the shadow to 70. I love that, loving the texture effects. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers at the moment, because I'd love to properly link stuff in my bio. Because I've been really unable to do that for the past year. So I think we're almost at 1,000 followers. We might have already hit it. So, you know, if we can get to 1,000, that would be really appreciated. But no, I really appreciate you guys' support. Again, like, I'm really small. Like, I am no good at advertising myself online. Like, I've never been good at advertising my art online. So, you know, my manga series is incredibly small. So I really do appreciate any of you guys' support, even if you just like my art. And just don't have time to read my manga. I really just appreciate, you know, you guys showing up and showing your support. It really does mean a lot to me. It gets my stuff out to more people who might be interested in my work, so I really appreciate it. What's your favorite? What character is your favorite to draw and illustrate? Larkin. Larkin is this boy with his ponytail here. Is also this character. I can show you on the big screen here. He is my favorite to draw. because I draw him so much. He's so easy to draw as well. He is my favorite character to draw. I can draw him without that much guidelines. I don't need his ref sheet really to draw him. I just know how to draw him. 1,034. Oh my word! I must have gained like 40 followers so far this stream. That's insane. I think that's the most I've ever gained in a single stream. Thank you for telling me. He's so cool, yeah. He said, I haven't done a rundown of what my manga is about. It's a crime mystery manga set in Bath, here in England. Set in like the late 1800s. And basically, Larkin is a human who's also like a scientific researcher, and essentially his work got plagiarized by his boss called Sir Atlee. But what happened with Sir Atlee, he got murdered one night, and Larkin was attempted to be murdered as well on the same night. But he's saved by a secondary protagonist called Fletcher, who was also known as the Golden Thief. He used to be a very famous thief back in the day, like 3 years prior to meeting Larkin. He used to be like a famous thief, but now he works with the police. And what we find out is that Fletcher has magic, and so Larkin is basically exposes this entire world with magic, and he wants to figure out where Fletcher's powers come from, because essentially Fletcher is a human with magic, and humans are not supposed to have magic. So essentially, this entire story kind of surrounds Larkin's journey into discovering where Fletcher's powers come from in a world where humans are not supposed to have magic, right? Or know about magic for that reason, even as well. So, like Elowin on the left here is a witch, and she's a part of the detective agency, and she's not a big fan of Fletcher. So that's why she's being kind of pissy towards Larkin in this page. And Fleur over here is one of the researchers who was quite close to one of the people this group has murdered. Like, there's a lot of lore in this page that unless you've read the manga, you won't understand who these characters are. But yeah, that's kind of like the small rundown. So if you like Victorian era series with a bit of supernatural in it, based in like real life locations, you'll like the Thieves and Stuff and Death. Like, if you like series like Black Butler, More Reality Patriot, Case Study of Vanitas, those sort of series, you'll probably really like Defeated Stuff and Death, hopefully. That's kind of like the vibes and the audience this is kind of aimed towards, so. No problem. I do have like a proper like rundown speech that I do give at conventions, but I'm so tired. I can do a better like rundown of my series really. But I'm so tired. I'm not giving the best descriptions right now. But yeah, it said like humans are not supposed to know about magic. So in this first arc, it's like Larkin also trying to hide the fact that he's a human. Because something I forgot to mention, which is like the thing I always bring up, is that actually his attempted like assassination, as you will, was failed and foiled by Thatcher. Instead they framed him for murder. So he's trying to also clear his name out during this first arc. So basically, they've been just tracking down who's killed Sir Atlee in this first arc, and trying to understand each other. And Larkin obviously trying to hide his human identity. There's a lot going on. It is late. I forgot how to English. Yeah, it said it's not helpful because I've also got a speech and language disorder. So tiredness, speech and language disorder, all in one is a bad mixture, folks. I'll be honest. I'm surprised I'm just like legible as it is right now. So. Right, if it's like this. Go down here. We kind of want it to be a bit on That's down here. Okay, and then we'll go to screen tones to the backgrounds now. So let's make a new folder. Screen tones. Select this. Oh, actually, I'll select the boards down here first. So if we go down that way, just quickly shove that all in because this is just a door frame down here, and then it'll kind of be like a little bit of a gradient effect down here, and then select this, go down there, go down there. Okay, and then if we do a halo effect around them now, so we go back to panel 2 folder, good, make a new layer here, and hatching brush. Right, and then we can put some shadow underneath their feet, I think, as well. I think that would look good. So if we get a shadow line down, so environment, okay. So we get that, slightly size that down. Something like that. Okay, and then I think we can get some step sounds here. Go here, step. Oh, if we could bring that to the front, that would be better. And if we increase that to white, and let me select the lettering. Why are you not selecting? There we go. Go like that. Okay. What time of day do you find that spark of inspiration? I find the night to be the most productive for music creation, etc. I don't know. I always find like during the middle of the day, I feel like I'm most productive. Usually when I get to the evenings, that's kind of when I really slow down. Like right now, I feel like extremely tired. I feel like I can't go on much longer. I'll be honest, folks. I get into that point at night that I'm like, I really want to go to sleep. So, but yeah, usually in the middle of the day. But I might end it here, folks, because I'm really tired, and I'm always like, I hate to leave like the screen tones in the middle of where, you know, I don't like leaving things half undone. But I might have to do that tonight. But I might go to sleep now. But maybe I'll live stream again this weekend. But again, like, feel free to join my Discord server. I'll let everyone know if I'm live streaming again in the future. And I'll try to give like a rough time for when I'm live streaming in the future. But like, if this time works well, please do let me know, because I'll try and aim to live stream more at late nights if that works for more people. I'll try my best to save some stuff, I guess, to do in the evenings if that's what people enjoy. Because I don't mind shuffling things around to make this work better for more people. So, but yeah, that's gonna be everything for tonight, folks. So I really appreciate everyone who's joined me today, especially some new folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys join me again in the future. Again, drop me a follow. I post stuff on my TikTok page pretty frequently as well. And again, I've got a Discord server. I'm on other social media platforms as well. So feel free to check my lit link in my bio. You can find everything about me there. And I will all see you later. I'll see you next time I stream. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye bye.